Hello there, all my wonderful aviators. RandomEd787 here. So today we're gonna be doing a little bit of flying with the somewhat recently released Got Friends glider, the AS33ME. And I was gonna wait till the native 2024 version released for this, so we're gonna be flying in Flight Sim 2020 today. But the reason why I wanted to make this video is well, I haven't uploaded in like 2 weeks, and I gotta get some kind of video out. But you know what, if there's a substantial difference in the 2024 version, then maybe I'll make another video on it. And I also wanted to make this video to give my perspective on it as a real-world glider pilot. I actually got my license back in November, and although I'm still kind of newly licensed, I've done a good amount of flights in some gliders to, I think, give, I guess, a unique perspective on this. And here are some of my thoughts, you know, rough thoughts on this glider right now. We still got a ways to go in terms of gliding being accurately represented in Flight Simulator. I will say this plane in some ways kind of pushes that forward a little bit, mainly I'd say due to some of the features that it comes with. So let's go over a couple. First off, you get this really awesome navigational aid here, and you know, you can, you know, zoom in and out and stuff like that. But you also have full customization of your gauges, which I think is really cool, and you can customize them where you want them to be in knots or kilometers per hour. You can do climb units, change that, which is really nice. You got altitude, you can do meters or feet. And let's see what else you got. You can also do stuff like making the canopy tint removed or not. I kind of rather have it tinted. You can even remove the yaw strain, but I don't recommend that unless you're like really hardcore or something like that. And you can adjust your ballast level right here. Surface contamination level, I don't really know what that actually does personally. Maybe someone in the comments can tell me that. Let's see what else you got. Oh, here, this is the really cool part. So you can move your instruments around like that wherever you would like. I'll personally just keep them kind of like, oh, actually, that's not a bad location for it at all. But actually, no, I'm actually gonna move my speed. I actually want to be up here, and yeah, we'll just keep the, actually no, I'd rather have the altimeter right there, and then I'll put the vario right, no? Okay, where did I have that? Right there? Okay, good. it gets a little confusing. I'm not gonna lie. What's this one for? Oh, okay. Yeah, you know what? I'll keep that there. All right, so I'll say that. Oh, another cool thing is you can open up the canopy, which those sound effects are really cool. And it even has a jettison handle, but it doesn't actually do anything even when you're in the air. But you know, it's cool that it's there. You got your water ballast here. This is where you can dump the water ballast. I got rid of it because it's going to add a lot of weight to it. So let me just, I guess, maybe go over my criticisms. Or I guess, yeah, I want to say constructive criticism. Oh, and you get the flarm here. And it actually, I believe, does work. I think with a tow plane, at least it does. You do get a new tow plane with this package. It's 20 bucks. But I found it to be quite buggy. Sometimes it just doesn't take off properly. It'll just decrease throttle for whatever reason. I have no idea. So I just went back to the default 172. So, but yeah, I would say one of my big criticisms, I guess, with this is when it comes to sound design. It's just not accurate to how it is in real life. And sound has a lot to do when it comes to immersion, when it comes to soaring. Like, for example, the takeoffs and landings, they just don't sound at all like the real thing. That's because they're using the default sounds from the simulator. Like, you know, you get with like the 172 and stuff like that. This is just not how gliders sound. And even when you're getting lift, I don't notice any wind noises when you're getting lift. So little strange on that, but you can hear a little bit of wind when you open this, which I think is really cool. I do like that that can actually be adjusted. You even got an oxygen system here too, which you turn that on. I can find it. And you can even hear the oxygen being blown in and everything. Cool, which is also really neat. I'll go ahead and set the altimeter here, and I'm gonna try and shut up now and actually take... Oh, hey, now let's... There we go. Adjust that. I'll say this, when it comes to the soaring and flying this this glider, it really is a lot of fun. I'll say that's one thing Got Friends has definitely gotten right, is when it comes to the feeling of flying this thing. All right, here we go, taking off, and yeah, as you can see or hear, it's just too silent. Yeah, I think there needs to be a lot more tire screeching and noise and wind. It's just too silent for my liking. There we go, we're lifting off, and we'll just stay level with the tow plane there. Very good, nice smooth takeoff. Now, I do want to preface one thing, is that I have never flown this particular glider in real life. I've only flown the Globe 103. I threw different versions. We have like I forget how many Globe 103s we have. I think we have like 3 or 4 at my club that I'm a part of. And I flew just one Globe 102. So, you know, obviously not all gliders fly the same. So I can't say how accurate this one actually is. All right, we'll go ahead and put one notch of flaps up right there. And we'll just stay behind our tow plane. And I do believe we got some pretty strong thermals today. I can just, yeah, I don't know why this guy is pitching. I don't know if it's me going up or he's going down. Kind of tough to tell right there. All right, he should be making his turn hopefully shortly. And this is another thing that I really want Flight Simulator to improve. And I don't know if this is something that Got Friends could potentially do, or some developer, but we need a massive improvement to the Aero-tow system. It's not, I wouldn't call it like abysmal. It's just very bare bones. Because obviously, like, you know, all it does is really left turns, and that's obviously not how it works in real life. And I wish there was some way we could, let me just get up there. There we go. Come on, get up there, get up there. I wish there was some way we could manually give them a flight path to do, or just give like actual signals. Like, for example, once he straightens out, I'll show you how we could signal to him that we want to say go to the left, just by tugging on the rope. I don't know, I may not even be able to demonstrate that because it is so freaking bumpy today. Okay, like for example, I'm out to the right now. This would signal that I want him to turn to the left, or vice versa. If I did it to the right, I would say, hey, can you turn the plane to the right? I think that would be something that'd be really cool to add to the simulator, to make the aero-towing just a little bit more immersive and a little bit more customizable. Because a lot of the times when I'm on tow, the tow pilot will usually always take us to where there's going to be the most lift. And I could say that that is not what happens in Flight Simulator. Woo, look at all those bumps. Oh, my word. Oh, boy. Swirly, swirly day it is indeed. All right, we'll just continue to stay behind him. Oh, boy. Yep. Yep. Okay, there we go. Wow. All right. I'll tell you this. When it's a swirly day and there's thermals in Flight Simulator, I gotta say it's pretty damn accurate. They definitely get that part right when it comes to the feeling of soaring. Oh, okay. I guess he wants us to release already. Usually the tow pilot would probably wait for me to stabilize before he would ever rock his wings or something, unless it was an emergency. Usually he doesn't rock his wings when I'm ready to release, when he takes me up to 3,000. Usually they'll only rock their wings if it's an emergency, but it's Flight Simulator, so, you know, I'm not going to get too picky on that. But okay, now we are in some pretty serious lifts, so let's go ahead and try to work with what we got here. I'll go ahead and put the gear up, and we'll go ahead and have a little fun here. Yeah, we are climbing good. I'll go ahead and get some flaps in here to get a little extra lift and to make my turn radius a little bit smaller. Let's go ahead and zoom in here so I can actually... There we go. And see my thermals there. So yeah, the larger the green circles are, that means the more lift that I have, and I just got to keep staying in that. Yeah, since I'm a lot slower, I gotta have more rudder. But yeah, man, oh my goodness. This is the one part of soaring that they get absolutely right when it comes to thermaling. I'd say it's damn near perfect, except with the sound. Like, I actually noticed this is something that I think that default gliders do better, is having all that wind sound when it comes to being in a thermal, because you will hear it get pretty windy. And for some reason, that is not represented in this glider, or maybe at least not enough, unless, you know, you maybe open the little window here. But even then, I consider that to be a little too whoa, okay. All right, we almost stalled there. Let's get it back under control. All right, we'll go ahead and level out there to get back in the thermal. I just want to see just how high that I can get here. There we go. Come on. Keep climbing, girl. There we go. It's a little better. Oh, that is so loud. But yeah, man, what a great day for soaring. It almost makes me wish I was at my local airport right now. But I guess the simulator will have to do for now. Oh well. Yeah, I know this plane is forward compatible with 2024, but I, for the life of me, cannot figure out how to get it in the sim. Maybe some of you in the comments might know. I purchased it from the marketplace. I don't know if that would potentially be problematic. If I purchased it from the marketplace, I don't know if that makes the problem a little more difficult. All right, we're coming up to about, what's our altitude now? 6,000 feet? Yeah. Hang on. There's some around my altimeter here. Why does that say 6,000 and this is 6,100? I don't know. That's a little weird. So, okay, I just noticed this. This is actually inaccurate. I don't know. Maybe I did something wrong. I don't know. But we are still climbing relatively fast here, man. I think we'll be able to get up pretty damn high. Come on. All right, we'll go ahead and level off right here and get back in the thermal and try to work with it. And don't worry, I won't just be continuously climbing because I know that'll probably get boring. Because I know a lot of you probably would like to, you know, hear my perspective on this. And I know some people might think I'm sounding a little bit picky, but I do this as to give as much useful information as I can to make the best possible product. And to be fair, this is only 20 bucks, so I'm not gonna really try to expect super duper high fidelity, but I feel like there's some tweaks they can make to make this a little bit better. And I'll go over with what some of that is in a sec. I just want to see just how high we can get up first. I want to have a little bit of fun while I'm doing this. Because let me tell you, if you ever get the chance to go soaring, please do it. Especially on a day like today. I literally can't recommend it enough. Oh, okay. Don't stall. Don't stall on me, girl. Come on. There you go. Come on. I want to make it to 7,000 here. That would be excellent if I could do that. But yeah, I just feel like it sounds just a little too quiet. I feel like there should be more wind sounds. Because let me tell you, you can really hear that wind when you're in a glider. Especially if you're in a strong thermal. It gets pretty windy in there. Let's go with another notch of flaps. Let's see if we can really get up there. There we go. We're hitting 7,000 now. Sweet. All right. Nice. I could probably go higher, but I want to demonstrate some things here. Okay, so let's go ahead and put our flaps back to neutral here and trim this out. This is the one big criticism that I am going to give this glider, and this is something that I really hope Got Friends adds. Wow, this thing just wants to climb. Is when it comes to slipping. Now, the slipping itself is accurate, but listen to this or the lack thereof. Ready? Here we go. Go into a right slip here. You see how silent that sounds? Okay. Now, let's do it to the other way. Okay. I can tell you this. I've done slips, okay? in real gliders, and it is a lot noisier than that. You will hear that wind smacking the crap out of your windshield. So, it should not be that silent. So, I really hope this is something that Got Friends can add. I just think, I really think my main issue with this that keeps me from, like, wanting to gloat about this product is the sound design. It's just really lacking. You know, I know it's only 20 bucks, but when you look at other things like, say, the J3 Cub from Classic Aircraft Simulations, you hear wind sounds, you feel everything jittering in the cockpit, or just see everything in the cockpit jittering. It just feels more immersive than this glider does. And I just think with just a few better sound effects, this glider can be really, really something special. It's so close. In fact, here, I'll go ahead and, yeah, do that. See, it doesn't actually do anything. Like, see, like, those wind sounds, I want to hear a little bit more of that in just the default state like this. So, and I know some people are going to be thinking that, once again, I'm just being anal and being picky, but I hate to tell you, that's kind of how a lot of pilots are, especially when it comes to flight simulation. We're always very anal about things. So, I think I'll go ahead and descend here, because I don't want to be up here forever and bore all of you. Because I could literally do this all day. So we'll just go ahead and put our spoilers out. Now, I would normally never want to do this in real life, not because it's dangerous, but because it's very, very uncomfortable, because I did something like this with my instructor once, and my ears were getting clogged like crazy due to the rapid pressure decrease. It was not fun. But as for the flight dynamics and everything like that, the flight model feels pretty good. And also something that's cool is that you get negative flaps, which I absolutely love using. Like, they're really fun when you do ridge soaring. When it comes to the actual flying of this glider, it feels awesome to fly. But like I said, I think it just needs a few more patches before I can really give it that glowing endorsement. Because, you know, like I said, when you have something like Classic Aircraft Simulations with their J3 Cub doing a little bit better in the sound department, you know, it makes it a little bit harder for me to recommend this. But again, that's coming from a real-world glider pilot. So, and although I never flew the J3 Cub in real life, I was automatically amazed by it. So it could just be a matter of perspective thing. If you're not really picky on every little detail being accurate, this plane, you might have fun with this glider. But again, just like I said, I just need a couple more sound effects added before I can really give it a massive glowing endorsement. And I know Got Friends is capable of that, so we'll just go ahead and keep descending here. But man, I gotta say the performance for this glider is really insane. It's very impressive what this glider can do. I really do love flying it, and I will keep flying it in the sim. Don't get me wrong. And you get two variants too. You actually get one with a slightly larger wingspan, but that, even though that does mean you can get more lift, it also means you get a lot more adverse yaw. So that's something to keep in mind there. All right, and I'll go ahead and start putting some spoiler away. We'll level off. Okay, no, don't start climbing now. I don't want you climbing. All right, if it climbs, we'll just put up more speed brake. But yeah, we'll just go out here, circle for a little bit, and wait till we get to our pattern altitude here. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna get some more spoiler out because it's a pretty swirly day, so we might want to have some spoiler. There we go. And altitude's looking good. Want to make sure my airspeed is decently high, because you don't want to be low and slow. That's something that my instructors have constantly told me. Never be low and slow. And the reason for that is because if your airspeed's low and you stall at a low altitude, it's going to be a very, very bad situation for you. Yeah, and another thing that I kind of hope that gliders get better at is when it comes to the feeling of having your spoilers out. Like, because for example, when I pop the spoilers in real life, like I would do right now, you would feel like a jolt like that. And I wish that could be represented in the sim more. It's those small little details. I hate to say it because I know some people think I'm just being anal, but those small details, let me tell you, they go such a long way when it comes to the overall immersion of just any airplane in Flight Simulator. That includes gliders too, because there's little details in gliders that can really make a difference to how immersed you are in Flight Simulator. Again, I'm not calling this a bad product by any means. I know some people might take that the wrong way, but that is not what I'm saying. I'm just saying it's just I just can't give it that glowing endorsement like I would like to. All right, we got our gear down. Flaps are neutral, and we'll go ahead and make our turn here. All right, don't want to descend too much. All right, we'll go ahead and start getting our flaps out and slowing it down just a little bit. Get some trim in there. Ooh, okay. All right, we gotta make a turn here. Yeah, we're a little too high, but that's okay. I'd rather be too high than too low. That is for darn tootin' sure. All right, we'll just land right at the intersection so we can make it to the end of the runway there. All right, looking good, right where I want to be. Might just be a little bit fast, but that's okay. All right, go ahead and put the flaps up just a little bit. Yeah, see like how we get all of a sudden get all that lift and it just wants to float? That feels very accurate to the real thing. Good, hold it off, 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 hold it off. Beautiful. Put the spoilers all the way up. And we'll go ahead and apply some brake. And we'll just turn right off the runway here. There we go. There we go. We got that nice wind drag sound. Awesome. So, yeah, just to conclude, like I said, I know some people are probably going to be thinking, are you out of your mind for 20 bucks? This thing's a steal. Well, remember, I'm also doing this from a glider pilot's perspective, so I'm definitely going to be a little bit more picky. Like I said, not a bad product. I just think we just need a few adjustments to the sound design and stuff like that, and then I can really give this my glowing endorsement. But I will definitely be keeping my eye on this, and if I see any substantial updates to this glider that make it more immersive, I will definitely let you know about it. But I will definitely say this is definitely way better than the default gliders we got from Azobo, because you have a lot more customization here. Like, you can only do these thermal things, and go on the pages, change how your instruments work, speed and knots, meters and feet for your altimeter, and you can even customize where your instruments go. So, like, for example, I can put the vario up there, or the airspeed. I can just do whatever I want. It's really cool. So for the features that you get, oh, and I forgot to mention, you also get a motor, but we did not need that today. But one thing I want to mention about the motor, go ahead and turn it on, is that you have to map this throttle to your throttle axis, otherwise it won't work. So just go ahead and just demonstrate that a little bit, but I don't want to do it too much. So I'll let that get stowed and take a look at the animation from the outside here. Looks really nice. But yeah, I'm glad that more gliders are coming to the sim, but we need to do a little bit better on sound design. Just those small little touches, and I think will really be there. So anyways, guys, if you do have this glider, let me know what you think of it. And if you are a licensed glider pilot by any chance, or have some experience in gliders, I'd like to hear your perspective as well. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you want to see more. And until the next video, to all my fellow aviators, peace out and happy flying.